I know it's been a while. We haven't done many updates. I would like to welcome you back to the Eden Homestead channel. As you can see, I don't know how much of you know, but we did get affected by Hurricane Irma here in Vero Beach. As you can see here, our starfruit tree has lost all its leaves. I've got a lychee tree over there that just completely got messed up as a result of the storm. And if you look down here, our fig tree appears to be doing quite well. This is growing up and it made it through, but a number of our trees didn't. And we just, we took quite a loss here. We even had a couple of our mango trees fall over. We propped them back up in hopes that we can recover them. Jury's still out, but we'll see how they do. As you can see, if you look around behind me here, we have got a lot of grass growing in here, as you can see. And as I pull it, some of it breaks. So, you know, I think it's weeded itself in and rooted down to the point where a lot of this stuff will break. Some of this will clump up, will take roots, but not all of it. So I'm going to have to get out here and likely turn a lot of this. This is not the same as what Paul Gauci would get, for example, using the Back to Eden method out in Sequim, Washington. Out there, they get about 15 to 16 inches of rain per year. We're here in Vero Beach. We've had so much water. And if I'm to dig down into this, I mean, it's not so bad here because we got some cover, but it just gets wetter and wetter and wetter. And we started dumping a lot of these wood chips back in January, so now we're up against it. We've had a lot of mosquitoes out here due to the hot weather and the rain. We had a lot of puddling and flooding, and not out here so much in the wood chips, but over where we're doing our gardens and up front, we had a lot of water damage. We suffered some damage to our pool area as well, which is serving as our plant nursery. The beautiful thing is, though, we're seeing many multitudes of dragonflies coming in to eat the new mosquito population that's rising up here because of all the standing groundwater. And as the mosquitoes are coming in, the dragonflies are coming in to take care of them. And then we have all kinds of birds. We have, I don't know what they are, but they fly around like bats here. I think they're probably swallows. And they're coming in here now going after the dragonflies, which are going after our mosquito population. So, you know, nature's taking care of things here at the Eden Homestead. And we're looking forward, again, to, as this breaks down, this compost, it's already, you can see, it's already starting to break down into soil, these wood chips, that very soon we won't have to plant underneath these, but we can actually plant right in this stuff as a medium. You know, if you check it out, I mean, I could bring this up close and show you. This is starting to break down, so we're getting some soil down here, as you can see. So this is actually breaking down for us, which is really good. It's full of different organisms, and we've seen mycorrhiza in here. We've had a lot of mushrooms forming, which has been great, and a lot of fire ants. I know this isn't something that you have out in Sequim, Washington, but many fire ants out here are getting our plants as well. They're building their nests into the rooting systems. And off in the distance behind me, I don't know if you can see it, we've planted a wall of bamboo, both over there and over here to my left, along this tree line. And what we're trying to do is to establish a microclimate so that when we put in our trees, that we'll get less wind, which would be less damage, of course, to the leaf systems, because the plants tend to dry out. They get windburn, and also when you have heavy winds, it sucks the moisture out of the plants that the plants need. And a lot of these trees as well, we probably should have mounded up because we have a lot of groundwater right now underneath these wood chips, and we want to prevent any root rot from taking place. Fortunately, some of this stuff is drying out here in the field, but there are areas out here, if I were to dig down, you would just see it would fill with water. So I'm very concerned about that for our trees, which have survived Hurricane Irma. And we're going to move on going forward here, but we're going to need your help. My wife and I would like to put up a registry and hope that maybe some of you out there could help us to become a part of this living legacy. We have been amazed at the people in Florida here as well who have offered us cuttings and different things to get started. And it's our heart to get the permaculture forest going so that within 2 to 3 years, you see this place will just be totally and completely transformed. But we're just in the infant stages of that right now, as you can see. So we're hoping that we can get enough people to donate, and maybe we could pick up 1 or 2 mature trees so that we can put these trees in to have an overstory which will block some of the sun, because our sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. So we have an area here of absolute full blazing sun. And fortunately, we're heading into fall, which will make it a little easier. But during the summer months, this wreaks havoc on the life of a young tree. So we want to get ground cover plants in, some overstory trees, so that underneath them we'll be able to plant. And we're also hoping that the bamboo barrier out here that we're setting up, we're using a giant bamboo, which will be about 65 feet in height. It's a clumping bamboo, which I highly recommend as opposed to running bamboo, because it's easier to control. Now, both require a lot of maintenance, obviously, but clumping bamboo is going to be a bit better for us as far as being able to control that and to set it up as a wall. And so we're going to set up 3 zones out here for microclimate. And in those different regions, we're going to plant different things. But out here where we are right now is going to be our tropical zone. So on our pool deck, we put in, we've got 2 soursop trees in pots. They're doing really well. As you can see behind me, it's not even there anymore. We had a soursop tree out back here and it completely died. And it might have been too much water or too much sun. We're not sure, but we lost all the leaves. We haven't had any cold temperatures, and this was before the hurricane. And again, our lychee tree over here, overnight we lost it, and we've lost a number of trees. I think we're up to over 20 trees here that we have planted and we've lost. So, permaculture is not easy, especially when you're new to it like we are, and you're not fully sure how it's supposed to work. But I do know we'll be mounding up soil in the future for plants so that we don't get root rot, and making sure we have, whether it's gravel or sand or some kind of drainage underneath the plant so that it's not sitting continually in water where we're going to get root rot. So that's obviously a concern of ours. You can't see it, but off camera here, we've got a bunch of trees we've been pulling out here between properties, and we're going to burn those down and take the ashes and put that back into the mulch. And this will put a lot of the minerals back into the soil that are going to be needed.